Hi everyone. Okay, this is just going to be a very short video. I've had a few people request a particular technique, so I'm going to just show you quickly how I get these results. So I'm using Boom Gel Stain, and basically, this is Binco Artist Paper. So I just pop some of my Sterling Wax White down first. Not a lot. I want a thin background. And if I need to, I can add to it. Now, I'm using the Binco Artist Paper. I always overlap my edges, and that just stops it from pulling away from the edge. And I've got to be really quick, and I can't edit this. So if I make a boo-boo, it's just going up because I'm having major dramas with my computer. So I have to do this, upload it from my phone. Okay, so there's lots of texture there going on. That doesn't matter because I'm going to move this around with some air. Okay, so I'm going to just literally, so I kind of want a shape in my head. So I want maybe a tiny bit there, then a ring here, like that. Okay, maybe a little bit more. So the way I do this, I come back to the center and I add. So, all right, so that might look a lot. That's not even 6 mils in total down there, actually. All right, so I would usually use a straw. Now, I'm going to use my compressor. This is actually Native Violet Purple and Parrotfish Green, but the Native Violet Purple looks black at the moment. But once I add, once I move around, you'll see it better. So I've got a very light background, which I'll keep moist, and that's only because today it's a little bit warm, and I've just got a very thin background. So where I'm going to start moving, I'm just going to add a little bit more white, just around the edges, just to help it flow because my background is so light. Now this is just the way I do it. You can do it however you like, of course. We all have our own ways. All right, so I know in the end this is all going to be completely filled, but I'm wanting it to fill up with cells. This is the one technique I do like cells with. So here I'm just going to blow out my edges first so I get my movement going. So, and it really helps if you actually turn it on. Okay, and my daughter's got some relaxing music. It's just called literally Relaxing Music for Bed on YouTube playing. So this is what I do, and I just keep going, and I've got to keep this short, so I'm going to have to really try. So the reason I've added more white here, I want that little bit to come out a bit further. So I go and add some more white, and then I just blow it out just a little bit more. Okay. So there's no particular right or wrong or way to do things here. So again, if I'm not getting the movement I want, so I'm just going to move it around just a little bit. Okay, and I'll keep doing this until I'm actually happy with the results that I'm getting and the shape and the flow. So everyone's different, what shapes they find attractive compared to somebody else. But I just like to have lots of wispy bits as well. So I made my background perhaps a little bit too light, but we can fix that too. Everything's fixable. So basically this is what I do. So this is how I do my edging. I go around keep working it until I'm happy with the shape. All right. Just still recording yet? Okay. Now, just get this going. Okay, I might not be able to finish the piece in its entirety on the recording, but that's because I'm using my phone. Now, what I will do is I will put completed photos up on the Facebook group, Boom Gel Stain. So please head over there, have a look. It's a wonderful group, and you'll see all the pics. What I might do, so it's easier to find, I might even put today's date on there, which is, I don't know. But I'll look at the date, and when I put my completed photos on, if you do a search in the Facebook group for that date, it'll come up. Okay? Because we've got to keep this really short and sweet. Alright, so you get the idea. So I do this, I move around. Okay. So, like I said, normally I'd use a straw. So I've joined that part up, I'm happy with that now. So the colours should look amazing on the thing now that I've moved them out a little bit. And then I'll show you quickly how I do the centre. Alright, so I'm going to keep working that, but not while we're on the camera. We'll stick to the centre before I run out of memory. Okay, so here's the middle. Now, if I want a lot of beautiful bubbly cells, I'm just going to move this around in a swirly thing just to get a solid colour going in my middle. And this is going to look quite ugly at first, but I promise you it'll look amazing. I'll pause the camera when I do it, and hopefully you do get to see the end. So I'm going to put down some white. Not a lot, that's probably a couple of mils there. And we're just going to blow it out to the edge of our design, or our inner edge is what we're going to call it. Now, I want a little bit of our green showing up in there as well. So, I'll show you what I'll do. Okay, so I've got the centre solid. Now I go and add my purple. Alright. Then some green. Alright. So we've essentially built up the centre, really. I'm just going to swirl it around and move it just a little bit. And you'll be like, what? Okay, but I promise it's going to end up looking amazing, and we're going to have tons and tons of cells coming up. Alright, so normally I would, like I said, I'd do the entire edge first and then do that, but just in case we get cut off, we're doing it a little bit reversed. Okay, so this is an A4 size, just so you get an idea of what I'm showing you in the camera. So here, it's not enough. Remember, I want that beautiful fluid movement, so that's why I keep adding more white, because I want it to be pretty and flowy. I know the noise of the compressor is a pain. You'll just have to bear with me a little bit with that, I'm afraid. here. So I'll just bring it back. Oh, that's pretty. Now, because I'm using the art paper, if I actually put an area that I didn't like, so just say that, I'll just wipe it off. I could get a baby wipe and that'll come off completely. But I can just wipe it off. That's why I love working with this art paper so much. For those who aren't in Australia, you've got Yupo paper, which is basically the same thing. It's just here in Australia, it's much cheaper to buy the Binco, and it's basically the same thing. So for those that are in the US, I think it's that Yupo's really cheap there. So go for it. And it's easy to frame too. Okay, so I'll just bring this edge out a tiny bit more. I love these colours together. I'm still recording. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that. I'm not sure about that little area, but I'm just going to let it go. Alright, I might just try and bring it out a little bit more here. Just a little bit more wispier. And I'll actually bring out some of that purple as well. It's going to work. If you rotate a little bit, you get these little wispy bits, which I really like. Okay, so that's it. So that was really quick. Normally I'd work on this for a while, so I'm not going to be 100% happy with it, but given the time constraints, that's not too bad. So I'm going to pause